Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I'm so excited to be crafting with the very first BetterPress Club Kit. This is the July 2023 BetterPress Club Kit and I'm really excited that straight out of the gates Spellbinders is supporting the new BetterPress with a club kit because I'm certainly excited to see what all of the other designers who get to craft with this club kit will be producing, and I am feeling very fortunate that I get to have a first play at this new club kit. I've been doing a series that I've been calling the Exploring the BetterPress, and it's one of the things that I like to do when I get any piece of kind of new equipment, and that is to just give it a play, kind of explore different things. And with the BetterPress, I feel like there's so many different options for how to change things up. There are definitely papers that Spellbinders recommends and that they sell. I've done a little bit of an exploration on different cardstocks. Here I'm using black 80-pound cardstock, and I also have an exploration video on trying different inks. Look at this. This is the Imagine Crafts. It's actually Delicata ink, and it's gorgeous. The Delicata inks have a bit of a shimmer to them. They are pigment-based, and being pigment-based means that they can actually be stamped onto dark or colored cardstock because the pigment actually sits on top of the cardstock as compared to a dye-based ink, which is water-based and will actually soak into your cardstock, and it doesn't have that opacity to really maintain its color. Whereas, as you can see with the Delicata ink that I stamped with, that silver looks phenomenal on the black cardstock. So I'm really impressed. I did test a lot, like pretty much every brand of ink that I have, and I don't have them all, but I have a fair few. And I was really impressed by my initial results using the Delicata ink and Versacolor. I feel like those two. There might have been another one. I think the Gina K amalgam ink did really well too. But these Tsuneko inks are fabulous. And look at that. It's beautifully crisp. It's really, really lovely. And so I wanted to just kind of show that you can definitely play around with whatever inks you have. Certainly, you're going to get the best, most reliable results if you are using the BetterPress inks and the BetterPress papers that Spellbinders does sell. However, don't let that limit your imagination, and definitely try some different things out because you just never know what sorts of results you might get. I am really, really loving these inks in particular, and just having knowing that the Delicata ink works and that I can actually press onto dark colored papers. It just feels like it opens a whole new world of what can be done with the BetterPress. This month's design is a little bit of Christmas in July, which I'm really grateful for. In my ink test series, I used this press plate too, and I have a lot. I mean, I'm talking a lot of panels because I did a lot of testing. And what's great about this, especially if you do make to sell at craft fairs, or even if you just like to make a lot of Christmas cards that maybe you give away as sets, that's something that I like to do. This is going to make creating en masse really, really easy because it has everything. It's got this gorgeous floral frame and this beautiful scripty kind of a brush lettering sentiment. And what's really fabulous is that it's actually 2 separate press plates. So if you wanted to change up your design a little bit, then you could, because you could always just use the frame by itself and stamp something else in the center. So let's say you wanted to make cards for somebody who doesn't necessarily celebrate Christmas. Maybe they celebrate a different holiday at the end of the year. Or you just want to make a nice wintry card because the floral frame, it's just winter florals. There isn't anything really specifically Christmas about it. And so I think it can be used in a lot of different occasions. And so you don't have to necessarily use both of these together. Certainly if you do, you can see how quickly these cards come together because there's not much else that you have to do. I think it's beautiful, just pressed out like it is. And of course, if you wanted to take it up a notch, you could definitely color in that gorgeous border. And as I was thinking about it more, I thought maybe I should actually do a little bit of coloring. So what I've done is just onto an acrylic block, I squished out some of the same ink that I pressed with, that same Versacolor green ink, and I just added a touch of water, not a lot. I don't want it to first off, I've never watercolored onto 100% cotton paper, so I wasn't exactly sure how the paper would react to the water. And if you're ever unsure, err on the side of not using too much water, because I was worried that it being 100% cotton, I wasn't sure if that meant that it was more fibrous and thus might bleed a little bit more. So, but it took to the ink really, really well. And all I'm going to do, I'm still going to keep this very monochromatic. All I'm going to do is a bit of spot coloring. So I'm picking out bits of the foliage to color in. And on camera, I did a little bit. And then after I finished filming and I was about to photograph my card, I kind of had a second look at it and decided that I actually want to color in a little bit more. So if you do follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I'm LV Handcrafted on both platforms there as well. Then you'll see the final photo of how this card turned out. And I like it better having more areas that are colored in, because then I feel like that increased the contrast. And whenever you have more contrast, I think things tend to pop more. So by adding more color and coloring in more areas, it makes the open areas, the parts that I didn't color in, it makes those actually stand out more. And so I'm really glad that I kind of had a second look and decided to go back in with a bit more coloring. And the coloring is really simple, and I think it's still very effective. So you don't have to necessarily, I know there's like a lot of intricate detail, and that is one of the beauties of the BetterPress, because it is capable of getting so many fine details in the design, and yet presses beautifully in one go, which for me is just, every time I do a press, I am super thrilled by the results, because I'm not the best stamper, and I feel like this is not only an elevated stamped impression, because it does have that extra dimension of that debossed detailing, but the fact that it just works so well every time, and you get such beautiful results. here's a final look at both. And again, this is not using the Spellbinders paper. This is not using the Spellbinders inks. And yet still very, very gorgeous results. So have a play with different paper stock that you might have a play with different inks that you might have, and just have fun with it. These cards come together so quickly, and so I feel like it really gives you a lot of time to just experiment and have some fun. Thanks for joining me on this one, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.